Hello, I'm Shadowcoast and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'll be providing my preliminary thoughts on Ram Pressure, a tactical turn-based game in early access. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Cooler, who helped in putting together the short intro. Thank you, Cooler. Ram Pressure is a tactical turn-based game best comparable to Xcom or Phoenix Point, developed by Quadcom Interactive and published by GDT. It is currently available on Steam and is free, though it does have microtransactions or the ability to purchase in-game currency for real money. More on that later. Now, from what I could find, Quadcom is a fairly small company consisting between 11 and 50 people according to LinkedIn. I highlight this to provide context, and while I do not expect smaller studios to have the same resources, I have played phenomenal games such as Solasta, which is developed by a very small team, in that case I think less than 20 people. Now, Ram Pressure markets itself as a tactical, story-driven online multiplayer game combining turn-based combat of Xcom with a deep, well-grounded sci-fi setting. Experience intense tactical online multiplayer action and explore a deep plot and unique storyline built on both single and multiplayer missions. That's exactly what it reads from the Steam page. Now, I will say that it does have that sci-fi-ish setting from what I've played. It definitely has that XCOM combat type feel. The one thing I would say is I have not really been drawn into the storyline, which is lacking. Again, it is in early access, so we will see. Now, I have not been able to get to the point where I've engaged in multiplayer aspects of the game, so my thoughts are contained to roughly 5 hours of single-player gameplay so far. For this video, we'll break it into two main aspects. The first is the off-mission or preparation stage, where we'll take a quick look at character customization and equipment options, and then we'll launch into a short mission to provide actual gameplay footage. When you first start, you'll have to make a decision between playing as the CIA as the United States, the GRU as the Russian Federation, or the 2PLA as China. I selected the CIA, and once I started, I do not believe you can reset or change your faction, so make sure you make your decision carefully. While this isn't a big deal for now, I am curious to see if there is any ability to switch factions, start a new character, or even reset your character so you can change your faction. If I figure that out, I'll definitely post a video, but as of now, it does not look like you can change your faction. After that, you need to create your commander or character. This character sits behind the scenes as you do not actually play this character in the game. From there, you jump right into combat, which serves as your first training mission, and you've already seen some of that gameplay up until now that I've been showing. After your tutorial mission is complete, you are then taken to the world map, which operates similarly to what we see in Phoenix Point and XCOM. With that said, there is no travel time or coordination time between missions, and you can instantly start any mission as long as it is unlocked and you meet the parameters. Missions populate as you complete the main storyline missions, and sometimes side missions unlock additional side missions, so you can keep riding that train to gain much needed in-game currency, which you'll use for everything. Now let's jump into our squad management and customization options. So far I've only encountered 3 classes of Assault, Heavy, and Sniper. I had thought I read somewhere there are 10 total classes, but that's something I'll have to confirm at a later time. They might have been referencing ways you can gear out or customize your squad based off perks, which I will cover in a different video. In squad management, you can scroll through your squad and swap out equipment. For gear, there are a few major items you can change, such as weapons, armor, and ammo type. You can also equip a utility item such as a grenade or medkit and unlock additional utility slots as you level up. Each unit does have a skill tree, but that's something we'll explore in another video. You can swap out ammo types and leverage ammo that is armor piercing, which becomes very useful against heavily armored enemies, which you will encounter fairly early game. At least I did. Weapons deteriorate over time and need to be repaired, which can be done by spending in-game currency using a repair kit. That brings us to the market, where you can buy ammo, armor, weapons, and hire new operatives. This brings me to my first concern. The little plus at the top of the map menu opens up a browser to the Ram Pressure website, where you can spend real money to purchase in-game currency. As shown, the in-game currency is used to do literally everything from healing your units to buying new operatives and weapons. While this has not impacted my early game experience, I do have concerns that as you level up and start getting into the multiplayer aspects of the game, it could very easily and quickly become a pay to win type of game. I sincerely hope that does not happen. Now let's launch into a short side mission. You deploy automatically and have effectively 2 action points, which are the 2 pips on the left side of the screen next to each unit or operative card. I do like how the user interface and actions are straightforward and consistent with other games in this genre. You can see that the heavily armored heavy I have cannot move as far as the lighter armored sniper and assault units I have. This was an intentional trade-off I made, and you'll see how I leverage my heavy to win the engagement, so I don't have to eliminate all the enemies. There are a few bugs, but overall the game works well and is what you'd expect. A few highlights include fairly good graphics, intuitive user interface, varied skill trees, which we'll cover later. While verticality hypothetically plays a role, I've only encountered one mission where I was able to actually go or get one of my operatives on higher ground, although they were then exposed and took a fair amount of damage. There are some minor differences and what I find annoying quirks of ending your turn once you shoot or reload unless you have specific perks you invest in. Also, being an early access game, there are a number of bugs. Finally, the AI doesn't seem to be the brightest, but we'll see if that improves as the team continues to work on the game. I will note AI is extremely hard to do well, especially in games like this. So it's not unique to RAM pressure at all. To summarize, my preliminary thoughts, RAM pressure shows a lot of promise, but has a lot of areas it can improve, and I do hope the developers continue to work on it. I'll be interested to see how the multiplayer aspect works, and I'll be posting a final review of my thoughts on the video and recommendation once I have more experience on the game. I'll continue to be playing and posting on RAM Pressure and other games, so please consider supporting the channel by subscribing and dropping this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Shadow Coast out.